Maybe you're watching this video with an invisible list running through your head. A list of everything you need to change. The body you want to take care of. The job you want to leave. The mess you want to sort out. The relationship you want to repair. The money you want to get a grip on. The person you want to become again. And maybe, when you look at that whole list at once, you feel something strange. Not excitement, tiredness. A tiredness that arrives before you've even begun. Because when we look at everything that has to change at the same time, life stops looking like a path and starts to look like a mountain far too big to climb in a single day. So something curious happens. Instead of taking a step, we freeze. Instead of starting small, we put it off. And the more we put it off, the bigger that list grows. And the bigger it grows, the heavier it gets. Until changing stops being a desire and becomes one more source of guilt. Maybe you know that cycle well. The Monday that was going to change everything. The first of the month that was going to be different. The new year with the enormous list of resolutions. You decide that from now on, you'll wake up earlier, eat better, train every day, study, save money, change your habits, change your mood, change your life, all at the same time, all starting tomorrow. And for a few days, it works. The energy is high, the will is strong. But real life doesn't stop to keep pace with our plans. Something unexpected comes up, a hard day, exhaustion, a bad night's sleep, and suddenly, one day falls apart. And here lies the most dangerous part, because when we try to change everything at once, a single stumble feels like the end. Slip in one place, and you feel like you've failed at all of them. And the thought that shows up isn't, tomorrow I'll try again. The thought is, I knew I wouldn't be able to. And then the whole list collapses with it. Not because you're weak, but because no one was made to carry a lifetime of changes in a single pair of hands, in a single day. Let's pause on that idea for a moment. Why is it that we keep insisting on changing everything at once? Maybe because we confuse intensity with transformation. We believe that the bigger the gesture, the bigger the result. That real change has to be dramatic. A turning point, a total restart, a new version of ourselves appearing overnight. We live surrounded by that idea. Stories of radical transformations, before and after. People who changed everything and were never the same again. But we almost never see what happened in the middle. The quiet months, the small decisions repeated, the ordinary days when nothing seemed to be happening. Because the part that transforms is rarely the part that shows. Real transformation tends to be quiet. So quiet that, while it's happening, you can barely notice it. And there's still another reason, quieter than the rest. Wanting to change everything at once is sometimes a way of avoiding the start. Because while the plan is huge, it lives in the future. And in the future, we never fail. In the future, we're always disciplined, organized, brave. The problem is the present. The present is small. The present is concrete. The present asks for only one thing at a time. But maybe this is exactly where we need to see things differently. Maybe change was never about size. Maybe it was always about direction. Think of a road. A road doesn't change its destination because someone hit the gas. It changes when someone turns the wheel. By 1 degree, a small movement, almost imperceptible, but held long enough, that 1 degree leads to a completely different place. Hurry doesn't change direction, choice does. And a small choice, repeated, is worth more than a giant effort that lasts 3 days. Let me tell you about Anna. Anna was 34 when she decided she was going to change her life. She took a notebook and wrote it all down. Wake up at 5 in the morning, train every day, eat flawlessly, read a book a week, learn another language, organize the whole house, save money, change careers. It was a beautiful list, and it was an impossible list. On Monday, Anna woke up at 5. She trained, she ate right, she studied, and she went to bed proud. On Tuesday, she did it again. More tired, but she did it again. On Wednesday, the alarm rang at 5 and her body simply didn't answer. She woke up late. She missed her workout. She grabbed whatever food she could on the way out. And when she noticed the day coming apart, she felt that familiar phrase rise up inside her. That's it. I've already ruined everything. And in the days that followed, Anna didn't go back to half the list. She abandoned the whole list because in her mind, she had failed. And whoever fails in all or nothing logic goes back to square one. For a few weeks, Anna felt worse than before she'd started. Not only because she hadn't changed, but because she had one more piece of proof that she couldn't do it. Until one day, talking with a friend, she heard a simple question. What if you forgot the whole list and chose just one thing? Anna thought it was too little, far too small, almost ridiculous next to everything she wanted. But she was tired of trying to carry it all. So she chose a single thing, a 10-minute walk at the end of the day. That's all. No waking up at 5. No revolution. 10 minutes. At first, it seemed insignificant, but it was something she could keep even on a bad day. And she kept it. Not every day, but most days. And something happened that she hadn't expected. That 10-minute walk didn't change her body in a week, but it changed something else first. It changed the story she told about herself. For the first time in a long time, she wasn't failing. She was following through. And whoever follows through on one small thing starts to trust themselves again. And it was that trust, not willpower, that made room for the next change. Months later, Anna had changed far more than 10 minutes of her life. But none of it would have happened if she had insisted on changing everything at once. Her life didn't turn around because of the giant list. It turned around because of the steps she could repeat. There's an ancient line, attributed to the Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu, written more than 2,000 years ago. A journey of 1,000 miles begins beneath your feet. Notice what it doesn't say. It doesn't say the journey begins when you can see the whole path. It doesn't say it begins when you're ready. It doesn't say it begins when you can take every step at once. It says it begins beneath your feet, here, now, with the step that's possible in this moment. The ancients already knew something we keep forgetting, that no one crosses an immense distance all at once. You cross it one step at a time. And maybe that's why hurry fools so many people. Hurry wants the end of the journey without the journey. But the path can't be skipped. It can only be walked. So maybe the right question isn't, how do I change everything? Maybe the right question is much smaller. What is the one thing I can do today? Not the list, not the perfect plan, not the final version of you, just the next step. And there's a hidden wisdom in choosing something small enough to keep on a good day, and on a bad day too. Because change isn't built on the days of inspiration. It's built on the ordinary days. On the days when you don't feel like it, and you take the small step anyway. It's consistency that transforms, not intensity. A little, repeated, beats a lot, abandoned. And if one day you fail, and you will fail, remember something important. Failing at one step doesn't erase the steps before it. One lost day is not the end of the road. It's just one day. You don't go back to square one. You just take the next step again. Guilt says that if you can't do everything, nothing is worth it. But guilt is a terrible advisor. It paralyzes you and calls that responsibility. Compassion does the opposite. It lets you start small again, as many times as you need to. And it's compassion, not pressure, that sustains a change over the long run. So maybe, today, you can do something different. Instead of looking at the whole mountain, look only at the ground beneath your feet. Instead of trying to fix your entire life, Choose a single thing, small, possible, yours. You don't have to wake up tomorrow as someone else. You don't have to solve everything before the day is over. You don't have to carry the whole list at once. You just need one step, and then, when you're ready, one more. Life isn't transformed in a single heroic gesture. It's transformed in the quiet sum of small choices, repeated. Breathe deeply. Let go of the weight of having to change everything now, and choose only the next step. Because you don't have to change everything today. You just have to begin. And beginning small is already beginning. See you on the next path.